to the Wave Show. Today I'm joined by men's volleyball senior student athlete Spencer Wickens. Hi Spencer, how's it going?
You know what? My summer was pretty boring to start, not gonna lie. It was fun to be with family though. Got to spend some good quality time with the fam. And eventually when things started open up and again, I started playing a little bit more, like just some pickup ball with some friends from home. So that was a lot of fun. But other than that, it was a pretty chill summer, and I'm just glad, to be back in Malibu living in my apartment.
You mentioned being home, so I want to go into your volleyball journey. You grew up in Rochester, New York, playing high school at McQuaid Jesuit. Walk us through your love for the game as a child and into high school, and how volleyball was in New York.
Honestly, I started playing at a young age. I was fortunate enough where my parents got me into it young. I had a lot of my role models growing up were older volleyball players that I look up to, and that was really good for me to be around and a good reason for me to start playing and play competitively. Well, Rochester's pretty weird. Not many people know about it, but it's a pretty cool volleyball hub, especially in the East Coast. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of good players that can learn from good coaches in the area.
Now, coming from New York, I'm sure you had options to stay out east, but when Marv Dunphy and David Hunt starts to show interest in having you come to Malibu to be a part of the Waves volleyball team, what was going through your decision-making process, and what made you realize, I want to go to Pepperdine, I want to be on the Waves?
There were a lot of reasons why I decided to come to Pepperdine, but my dad's also a coach, and he knew Marv and David when I was younger, and I got to know them a little bit growing up. And then once I figured out they were interested, I looked more into the school, and I thought, it being a small school on the West Coast by the beach, it was a pretty cool spot for me to be, and that's where I want to go.
Do you remember your first time being on campus for your official visit and how that went?
I do. I remember driving past the school, driving up the hill, going up to the gym, talking to coaches for the first time, or one of the first times in person. It was pretty surreal. It was a beautiful place to be. They really took the chance to get to know me and who I was, and it was a good fit.
You mentioned your parents earlier. You come from a complete volleyball family. Your dad, Cal, is the head coach for both the men and women's programs at Nazareth College, and your mom, Tammy, played at RIT. Your parents also own and operate a club, according to David. So I'm assuming volleyball's in your blood?
Yeah, volleyball's in the blood. It's been flowing ever since I was a little kid. My dad has run Pace Bootleggers for the past 40 years, even going on 42 years, a long time. He met my mom through volleyball. She played in college, still holds a couple of records at RIT, and then he started coaching at Nazareth in 2003 for the women, and then started the men's program in 2007. So I was always around it, by force, by choice, but eventually it was by choice, as I got a little bit older, and it was a fun time.
My next question for you is, during quarantine, we've obviously had a lot of downtime. Did you get the chance to play with your mom and dad and your siblings during all of this?
We have a little grass net we set up in the backyard, and every now and then we have a few friends over that would come play, but we actually got mom and dad out there to play a little bit. My dad still has it. He's not quite as good as mom. He's a little bit older, the knees are bothering him, can't get off the ground, but she still got their arm swing, and she put some balls away against me and my siblings, so it's pretty fun.
Now, as a senior, you had the chance to enter a new era under head coach David Hunt after Marv Dunphy announced his retirement. What do you enjoy most about the head coach and David, and then also to the assistants, Paul Carroll and Matt Pollock?
David is very passionate about what he does. He holds you very accountable for what you do each day, and he's ready to go just as every single guy on the team is ready to go and compete. In practice, he's intense. He expects a lot from us, and he's also there to support us when we need it. I like the additions of Paul and Matt. They're both really awesome characters, and they bring a lot of knowledge about when they played and what things worked. Whether that was in college, playing on the national team for Paul in Australia, or playing professionally, both of them as well. They just bring different perspectives for you to think about as a player, and it's a cool group of guys, yeah.
Now, these next two questions come from your coaches. I emailed them the other day. David said that you and your brother are extremely competitive. So my question for you is, what was it like growing up with your brother and the dynamic between the two of you?
You know, it was everything we did. We probably competed a little bit too hard. Whether we were playing a little pickup basketball, when we were golfing at home, to when we just do pretty much anything. You know, I wasn't ready to let him get a hold of me. You know, I wasn't ready for him to take over the house, and But the real killer too. Our sister is also really competitive. Her name's Maddie. She was a beast, and she doesn't let us. She doesn't take crap from any of us or either of us. So, But growing up with those two is whatever we did, it was competitive. From the smallest thing to just life in general.
Your coaches mentioned that you are also a fantastic golfer, that your current goal is to break 70, and that you're much better than Matt, David, and Paul. Is this true?
Well, 70 might be a little bit of a reach. My best round I shot with those guys was 75. I think Matt they each have their own distinct characteristics about them when they golf. So Matt is definitely the best. I beat him one time, but I can't say that makes me better than him. But Paul definitely swings the hardest. He absolutely wild club speed. He hits the ball further too than anybody else once he gets a hold of it. And David's pretty solid. Me and him go at it back and forth. He definitely is the most lenient with his gimmies. Takes the most putts, so that's a little bit debatable. We've had a couple arguments about that, but I definitely could take David. Yeah, he's not a problem when we play together.
I was told that you're a very well-respected leader amongst your coaches and teammates, so much so that you decided to join the Waves Leadership Council at Pepperdine. What's that been like for you, and what kind of role have you taken within WLC?
I've really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed being part of Waves Leadership Council. In the past 3 years, it's just opened up a couple opportunities for me, just to serve my teammates and other athletes among the school. Also gave me the opportunity to go to a convention at BYU that the WCC held. It's allowed me to work on the Diversity and Inclusion Council. And it's just opened up different, community service opportunities that I've been able to be a part of and help lead, and it's been a lot of fun. I really like working with the people, on the council as well. Jordan Holm, who's been a big part of it too, in admin. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I really enjoy building a relationship between the athletic department and the other student athletes.
Now, your guys' season was obviously cut short, and I remember that night vividly. It was Wednesday, March 11th. You guys swept Jamestown at home. Walk us through those few weeks when your guys' season was cut short and the emotions that your guys' team felt.
Yeah, those 2 weeks were pretty nuts. After the Jamestown match, we were thinking mainly looking forward to playing UCLA and Hawaii that next coming week. We didn't really think the season ending that early was going to be a huge possibility. We were hopeful that we would still have matches to go. It probably didn't hit us or at least it didn't hit me until we played our senior night match against ourselves. We had a little inter-squad scrimmage where we had Orange play Blue, and listening to Noah, Ben, and Rob talk about each other at the end of the match, that's when it was kind of hitting me that these guys were leaving and that the season was cut short. And it was when I realized I wasn't ready for it to be over, as well as many of the guys were probably feeling that too. But yeah, the emotions it was tough because we had worked so hard and we competed so hard for the whole year, and then all of a sudden it wasn't ripped out from us, but it was just an unfortunate circumstance where we needed to, step away because of everything going on. But, I guess that's life, and, we're back, and we're trying to see if we can change it all this year and see if it can be better.
And as we look ahead to this season, it's your senior year. What are you looking forward to most once the season starts here, hopefully soon?
I'm looking forward for a lot of things, mainly just to compete again. These last 3 years have been awesome, just being able to practice with some of the other best guys in the country. I'm really grateful to be a part of this culture, just because not only are, we all really good players, but, there's a lot of cool guys in the team too, which also I'm excited just to be back, with the guys in the team and spend time with them and, do things together and just have a good last year. Yeah.
You seem to have a great head on your shoulders, and I just want to ask you this because I'm curious myself. Looking ahead past Pepperdine and your volleyball career, what do you have next on your slate? What are things that you're interested in? I'm sure you've started to think about jobs in the future. What are some things that you've been planning for ahead?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not certain I'm ready to be done playing volleyball yet, but we'll see how it goes, But I do want to go to grad school and possibly get a grad assistantship somewhere, wherever that is. I'm interested in a bunch of different schools and I'm open to new experiences. If I do go to grad school, I'd like to do either a sport administration master's program or an education master's program, I guess, to see where that leads me. Hopefully either working in college athletics or in a coaching position somewhere, anywhere it is.
Well, Spencer, it was so nice to see you. I'm excited for you guys to all get back on campus eventually, and I'm looking forward to your season. But until then, stay safe and best of luck.
Thank you. It was really good to see you too, Olivia. Thanks for having me.
Waves. Meal prepping has become a popular way to stay on track with your nutrition goals. Enjoy fresh, delicious, and affordable healthy food made just for you. Visit eatnakedla.com to get started today.